going on, guys? My name is Brandon. Welcome to Audio Addiction, where you can find latest album reviews, you can find our band interviews, and you can find live coverage of the concerts that we get. I've been away for the past week. I went up to Canada, so unfortunately I didn't do the album review for Wage War, but that will be going out hopefully by the end of this week if I can do it. But it will definitely be going out. Hopefully you guys have checked out that record. If not, go check it out. Also, the Wise Man Fears record came out on the same day, actually today, the same day. And check that one out. We'll have a review up probably around the same time this video goes out. But I wanted to make sure to get that one out first. And then obviously this one, Archaeologist just put out his new record on Tuesday, so I wanted to get around to this one as well. So if you enjoy what you see, make sure to subscribe, make sure to hit that thumbs up. It really does go a long way. And thank you, Kyle, for kindly sending me your record over. I really do appreciate it, and I can't wait to get my pre-order in. So like I said, without further ado, we're going to be talking about Archaeologist's new EP, Odyssey. So I've been a fan of Kyle's work for a little bit of time now, thanks to Michael from Jorah the Destroyer. He was the one who got us in contact with each other, and Kyle's such an awesome guy, and also he's a Smash player, so I gotta help out the homie. But yeah, he sent me this record early. Unfortunately, he sent it to me literally a couple days before I was going on vacation, so I wasn't able to, dive in and really do it. But I did have some spare time while I was on vacation, so I wanted to try to get this out as soon as I could. Obviously, the record came out this past Tuesday, so definitely check it out if you haven't already. Really good list of people, just features Yvette Young, Sith UA, Gavin Castleton, and obviously Chris Lee and get on. I'm gonna butcher everybody's name, but it's just a stacked kind of featured lineup, and anybody from the sort of instrumental scene obviously would be able to pick out a lot of these names, and it's really cool that Kyle got those people on this record. So, without me mumbling on and kind of just going all over the place, I'm going to go through each track, give you my thoughts and opinions on it. I'm going to give some pros and cons on the record, and then I'm going to give an overall rating to the EP. So, let's kick it with the first track. It's called Sojourner, and this one features our good friend Yvette Young from Covet, as well as just her solo work. But, this was the first single he released. He released a music video with it, which was really awesome. But I feel like Yvette, she obviously is a multi-talented instrumentalist, and obviously just an all-around great person. But the amount of instruments that she plays and just, adds into this track is really awesome. There's this really sort of soft, clean guitar intro, and then Yvette does violin on the intro as well, which kind of adds this cool atmosphericness to it. And I just feel like just the play between those two instruments alone just sound really awesome. And the way that Kyle was able to arrange that really works out well in my opinion. Also, the clean guitar just carries throughout this track, in my opinion. Just the kind of melody at the beginning kind of seeks, spills into the rest of the track. It has this really nice ebb and flow to it, in my opinion. And for being a 7+ minute track, I feel like it flows very well, and it was one of the more enjoyable tracks off the record, in my opinion. Also, Yvette adds a really great guitar solo as well in the track, so it's cool to get both sides of the coin on this song, in my opinion. I definitely feel like it was a cool opener track amongst, being one of the longer tracks and off the record. In my opinion, I feel like it really holds its own and has definitely become one of my favorites off this EP so far. So we're going to move into track number 2, which is Vesuvius. This one features Chris Lee. I'm sorry, Chris, I do not know what band you're from. It's unfortunate I didn't do it. It's like 2 in the morning while I'm doing this, but I'll definitely have to check out your work. But I really enjoyed his solo. It was definitely one of my favorites. I like that the last 30 seconds of Sojourner led into this track. This one has more of an aggressive nature to it, in my opinion, and I'm really loving that sort of descending riff in the verses. Kyle, that was pure genius. I really enjoyed that. I feel like this track definitely has more of the darker undertones, in my opinion, and just the dissonance and the stops in the bridge were just really cool, and it offers a lot of breaks to the track, in my opinion. And just adding the additional layers of strings and piano were a really nice addition to this track. I feel like they kind of add this, you know, ambientness and just this etherealness to the track that I really, really appreciate tremendously. And I also feel like Chris's solo was again phenomenal. I have not heard of your band, Chris. I'm sorry, but I will be definitely checking it out because I really enjoyed the solo a lot. So if you do solo work, or if you're in a band as well, I would definitely like to check that out. But really, what I'm getting at, really amazing solo, awesome work on this track, and definitely, again, one of my favorites. So we're gonna move into track number three, which is Sunbreaker. This one features Sith UA, another really talented solo guitar player. I hope to see him on the Haken tour. I'm pretty sure that's how it's pronunciated, or just the band name. I might be completely wrong, but I know it begins with an H, so forgive me. But this one definitely has more of a happier, fun vibe to it. And then just the riff between the 1 minute and 30-second mark to around the 2 minute mark is really great, bouncy guitar riff. I enjoyed this a lot, in my opinion. Just Sith U's guitar solo was an absolute banger. In my opinion, I really enjoy his work, just in general. So to have him with Kyle's music and just his, the way he interprets a solo, I feel like it fits very well with this track as well. I like that the solo kind of changes the song completely after that part, in my opinion, and it just has this real anthematic feel to it. It really, motivates you, in my opinion. The piano outro was definitely a little cool tidbit as well. And to me, I definitely feel like this is another strong track, and definitely amongst a favorite of mine as well. So we're gonna move into track number four, which is Archipelago. Archipelago. I don't know. I'm really bad at this pronunciation thing. But this one starts off a bit slow, but adds, becomes more and more melodic and ambient as the track goes on. Very reminiscent to me of like Caspian, the way that they do stuff. I also find it interesting that the rhythm and lead guitar kind of follow the same melodic ascending formula throughout the track. And I definitely feel like at one part in the track around the 3 minute mark, I thought that the track was gonna go in this completely different direction than what he does ultimately with the track. I definitely feel like it was gonna go into like this kind of big open sort of expansive just ending, and it didn't, which I felt like was a bit odd, in my opinion. I didn't like how it kind of like abruptly stops, and then there's kind of a pause, and then it gets into this other sort of guitar lick. I feel like if it ended out on kind of like a just like anthematic kind of like finisher, like very much like just explosive, I feel like the play into the jazz sort of lick would have felt much more better, and I feel like the transition wouldn't seem as awkward, in my opinion. And this was after a few listens. I felt like that was kind of like the kind of odd part of about this track, in my opinion. I just didn't like how it ended in that part, but I do like the riff after that. It really has a sort of jazzy sort of feel to it. The incorporation of synth was definitely an interesting musical choice, but I feel like it fits well. But again, I feel like if it didn't end abruptly, it would have felt more together, if you know what I mean. It just felt like it was missing something and just was lacking that sort of energy. I felt like if he carried that sort of energy with him, it would have definitely figured out and just worked out much better, in my opinion. So we're gonna move it into track number five, which is Radiate. This one is just this cool little interlude track. It has some atmosphericness to it as well. Nothing really much to talk about. I think it's fairly self-explanatory, but I did like the little interlude as well. So we're gonna move into track number 6, which is Noctivigant. I'm pretty sure. I have no idea. This features Gad Gidon. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. This one is one of my favorites. The intro just has this really stellar guitar riff, in my opinion. Um, there's this really cool sort of electronic interlude around the 1 minute and 30-second mark to around the 1 minute 40-second mark. I feel like that was really cool. And I also like how, Gad's solo was incorporated in this track. It was personally one of my favorite solos. Uh, while I did like the other ones and I thought they were really just immensely talented and phenomenal, I felt like this one felt that fit the track best in my opinion. I felt like a lot of Sith use stuff is very in your face, sort of just crazy guitar solos. I felt like this one fit very much into the wheelhouse of this track, which is why I feel like it's the best personally, in my opinion, just because it just fit well with the melody and just the whole track in general. This one also has great flow to it and just a great bounce to it as well, in my opinion. And this one has some aggressive parts, which I was really surprised about. But they also had some toned down, sort of, mellowed out parts, which I do appreciate. I appreciate just the balance of, some heavier lines as well as some more softer bits as well, and just the piano in the intro, outro, I mean, just adds a precursor to the next song, which I do appreciate. I like how the tracks kind of bleed into each other. I feel like that's really great songwriting and just song structure, in my opinion. So we're gonna move into the last track, track number 7, which is called Quiver. This one features Gavin Castleton of the Deer Hunter and also his solo work as well. This one is one of my favorites, and it's just a personal favorite track of mine as well. Gavin's piano just lends itself so well with, Kyle's writing style, in my opinion. I feel much like in Gad's solo, I feel like Gavin just adds another dimension to this track, which I felt like would have been lacking if he wasn't a feature on this track. I like the back and forth between the two. Gavin's work as well as Kyle's. I feel like they mesh very well together and have this great balance to it. The guitar is definitely one of my favorite parts. Just the riffs and just the overall direction of this track, I feel like fits very well, and just flows very well. The melodies just are so fluid in this track, and I feel like it is a great representation of what Archaeologist is. In my opinion, I feel like if I had to recommend a song to somebody who had never listened to Archaeologist, I would probably recommend this one. It really kind of accents every great part of what Kyle writes, but also is a great feature from Gavin as well. So I feel like it blends the best of both worlds, in my opinion. The lead lines just match up very well with the instrumentation, and I feel like it's a great way to end off the record and kind of culminate, the whole EP, in my opinion. And I really enjoyed that one. So, some pros and cons. I felt like some parts lacked a little bit, especially for me. Most of the stuff that I listen to is vocals, and I felt like a lot of the solos filled the slot of a vocalist spot. So in my opinion, I feel like he did that a justice. There was some really big issues, in my opinion, in certain tracks, especially Archipelago. I just feel like that one break really kind of hurt this rating, in my opinion. Obviously, I'm not gonna base it off the entire record, but in my opinion, I felt like it was just really odd to me, and just it definitely stuck around. And not to say it was a bad track, I really enjoyed it. It just to me felt like it was the most lacking of all the tracks off the record. I feel like each solo and each kind of feature on all of these tracks were really executed well, and I felt like they fit well with a lot of the tracks, even though I felt like Gad's felt fit the best along with Gavin. I feel like the last two were probably the best too. But I do appreciate the kind of diversity that Yvette brought, and then Chris and Sith, you kind of added that sort of just fast-paced technical stuff that you expect from those guys. So to me, I feel like it was a very well-rounded record. Again, if you're a fan of a lot of these solo artists, then I feel like this is kind of right up everybody's alley as well. So I don't really have any cons other than maybe some of those, things that I mentioned prior. But overall, I really enjoyed this one, and my overall rating for Archaeologist is EP Odyssey. I'm going to be giving it an 8.8 out of 10. I really feel like people should check this out. Kyle is a really good guy, and more or less than that, he's a great guitar player as well. So I really feel like he kind of really did an awesome job, and the features did what they were supposed to do, which was, get people excited for these tracks and kind of hear somebody else that's doing something a little bit different. So to me, it really fits very well with what he was going for, and also, the features really benefited his tracks as well. So, in my opinion, I give it 2 thumbs up. I really enjoyed it, and I really appreciate Kyle for sending me this record over, man. Uh, I appreciate that you look out for me, and thanks a lot for sending it over. So let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on this EP. I really do like it. I hope that he'll maybe do a full length and kind of, expand his horizons, because I would like to see how his work kind of pans out in a more full length setting. I feel like it would be an interesting kind of way of going about it, and I'm excited for the future of Archaeologist. So make sure to pre-order this if you can. If not, I'm sure he'll understand. But I'm really excited to get my pre-order, and I'm excited for you guys to check it out. It's on Spotify, any sort of streaming site, and you can also get it on iTunes as well, or you can get physicals. They have physicals that he'll be shipping out to you, which is really awesome, and I'm excited to get it in hand, like I mentioned previously. So if you enjoy what you see here, make sure to subscribe, make sure to hit that thumbs up. It really does go a long way, and like I said, the Wage War record album review will be out really soon, and I hope to get it out to you guys ASAP. So my name is Brandon. We hope you got your fix, and we'll be talking with you soon. Peace. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Of course, if you enjoy what we do, make sure to go check out the other series we do. We do album reviews, we do band interviews, and we do live videos, so definitely go check that out. Hit that subscribe button. It really helps out our channel, helps us grow. Make sure to hit that like button as well. Go follow us on social media. That's all down below. We try to keep that as updated as possible. We also made a new website where we'll be posting photos of upcoming concerts and stuff like that, which you can go check out at audioaddictionmedia.com, and come get your fix with us, guys. Talk to you later. Deuces.